Most people think discipline is about force, waking up early, pushing harder, fighting resistance. They believe becoming better means becoming stricter with themselves. But what if discipline doesn't start with control? What if it starts with awareness? What if the reason most people fail to stay consistent isn't laziness, but unconsciousness? Today's video is about a deeper kind of discipline, the kind that doesn't rely on motivation, the kind that grows naturally when you begin to see yourself clearly. This idea is deeply inspired by the work of Carl Jung, a psychologist who believed that the greatest danger to a human being is not weakness, but being unaware of what drives them. To understand this, we're going to bring his ideas into real life, through a simple human example. Not a superhero, not a monk, just an ordinary person trying to become better. Chapter 1. Most people are not in control of their lives. Every day, people promise themselves change. I'll start tomorrow. I'll be more disciplined. I'll stop procrastinating. And every day, the same patterns repeat. Scrolling, delaying, avoiding, starting strong then stopping. Carl Jung believed this happens for one main reason. Most of our behavior is unconscious. We don't choose our habits. They choose us. You think you decided to check your phone, but the hand moved before the thought finished. You think you chose comfort, but your body has been trained to escape discomfort automatically. Jung once wrote that people do not have ideas. Ideas have people. In other words, if you are not aware of what drives you, you are not free. Discipline fails when it's built on willpower alone, because willpower gets exhausted, but unconscious patterns don't. Chapter 2. A simple experiment in self-awareness. Let's imagine someone. His name is Adam. Adam is not special. He works, gets tired, scrolls at night, promises himself he'll improve. Instead of changing everything at once, Adam tries something different. Inspired by Jung's idea of observation, he decides to run a small experiment. Every morning, before doing anything else, he eats an apple. Not because apples are magical, not because someone told him it would change his life, but because the apple becomes a signal. Each time he eats it, he asks himself one question: what am I avoiding today? That's it. No affirmations, no pressure, just awareness. First, nothing dramatic happens. He still procrastinates. He still gets distracted. But something subtle begins to shift. He starts noticing patterns. He avoids work when he feels uncertain. He scrolls when he feels bored. He delays when he fears doing something imperfectly. The apple doesn't create discipline. Awareness does. Chapter 3. Discipline fails when you fight yourself. Most people treat discipline like a war. They call themselves weak. They shame themselves for failing. They try to dominate their own behavior. But Jung warned against this. What you resist doesn't disappear. It goes underground. When you suppress a habit without understanding it, it returns in another form, stronger, sneakier, more destructive. Adam notices something important. On days when he forces himself, he burns out. On days when he observes himself, he adjusts naturally. He doesn't say, I must work for 5 hours. He says, I notice I'm escaping because I'm overwhelmed. And once something is seen clearly, it loses some of its power. Discipline becomes less about punishment and more about alignment. Chapter 4. The Shadow and the Habits You Hate. Carl Jung introduced the concept of the shadow. The shadow is the part of you don't want to see. Your laziness, your jealousy, your fear, your weakness. Most people try to destroy their shadow. But Jung said something unsettling. The shadow doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It controls you from behind. Adam realizes his lack of discipline isn't random. Protects him. Procrastination protects him from failure. Comfort protects him from discomfort. Distraction protects him from self-doubt. Once he sees this, he stops hating his habits. And paradoxically, they start losing their grip. Discipline grows when you integrate your shadow, not when you pretend it doesn't exist. Chapter 5. Awareness creates natural consistency. Weeks pass. Adam is still human, still imperfect, but something is different. He no longer relies on motivation. He relies on noticing. When he skips a task, he doesn't spiral. He observes. When he feels resistance, he doesn't fight it. He understands it. This awareness creates space. And in that space, better choices become easier. Not heroic, not dramatic, just consistent. Jung believed that real change happens when the unconscious becomes conscious, not overnight, but permanently. Discipline, in this sense, is not forced behavior. It's behavior that makes sense to you. Chapter 6. Why modern life destroys awareness. Today, distraction is constant. Notifications, content, noise. The more distracted you are, the less aware you become. And the less aware you are, the harder discipline feels. This is why people feel stuck. Not because they lack information, but because they lack presence. Adam's apple ritual seems small, but it anchors him. One moment of awareness a day. One pause. One honest question. That moment becomes a foundation, because you cannot change what you do not see. Discipline is not about becoming ruthless with yourself. It's about becoming conscious. Self-improvement doesn't begin with rules. It begins with observation. Carl Jung believed that the greatest journey a human can take is the journey toward self-knowledge. Not to become perfect, but to become whole. Like Adam, you don't need to change your entire life today. You just need to notice it. And from that awareness, discipline stops being a struggle and starts becoming a natural expression of who you are becoming, not by force, but by clarity. If you liked the video, kindly subscribe to my channel to help me grow. See you in another day.